Welcome to the Flame and Fiber podcast. My name is Barbara. You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Diva S. It's been a while, although I've been vlogging every day. If you're interested in just my ramblings, I'm not showing knitting or anything like that. I'm just talking about life, in lockdown. I mean, it's not really lockdown. There are places that are really locked down. But sort of what's going on in my head in the mornings. And so if you have any interest in that and how I'm faring with the coronavirus and being, sheltering in place, then go over and check it out. Yesterday's I was a little down yesterday, so maybe not the best place to start, but I put a little one up today too. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous day. Here I am on my deck. I had to move because I have, practically bald anyway, and when I was sitting over there in the sun, I look completely bald. I decided not to do that today, so I'm in the shade, which is a little cooler for me, and since I am wearing my summer sweater, that might be a problem, but so far not, and I will show you my sweater in a minute. It is April 6th, so this is the first podcast of the second quarter of the year, which means we have prizes to give away. Oh good, and my neighbor just started working in his yard. Really? Come on, Dave, give me half an hour. Anyway, I picked prize winners for the Craft From Your Stash make-along that I'm doing with Leslie of Not Quite Enough Yarn podcast. I just spent the last 20 minutes looking for Pom Pom magazine that I wanted to make a sweater out of that I couldn't find, and a few weeks ago I went through all my Pom Pom magazines and gathered them all up to make sure I had downloaded the patterns, because you get a download code, so you get them in Ravelry, and you can get them on your computer, so you can just print off each pattern as you want it. And I went through, and there were quite a few of my pom-poms I hadn't done that, so I did that. That was great. So I go to find the Rocaine sweater because it's on my list to knit. I can't find it on my computer, and I can't find it in my house. And I had a subscription at that time. I know I have that magazine somewhere, but I can't find it. And apparently it was not one that I downloaded. And since I can't find it, I didn't gather it. I didn't gather it a few weeks ago. So I can't find that pattern. And I spent 20 minutes looking for that magazine just now when I could have been sitting here podcasting without Dave cutting down his trees. But I'm going to continue on. And I hope it's not too annoying. It's time for the drawings. I drew names for the quarterly prizes. From the FO thread, I drew a name, and that winner will get a skein of yarn from my stash, and from the chatter thread will get a pattern from Ravelry. So, drum roll please. Da, 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 da. The winner from the FO... Dave is a very nice guy, and he's furloughed from his job right now, so he's been doing a lot of work in his yard, and apparently he's doing noisy work today. Anyway, M's Little Nest, you won the skein of yarn for your finished object. You had a hat in the finished object. You were number 166, and that is what my random number generator picked. That's Emma from Wellington, New Zealand. M's Little Nest. I'll put it up there. M's Little Nest. Thank you for participating. Thank you for participating, and get in touch with me on Ravelry or Instagram, or Dennis has made me an email list for my podcast. So I also have an email list, an email you can send to, which is flameandfiber mindspring.com. I'll put it down there, and I'll also put it at the end of the podcast. So Emma made a hat. She says blues and greens are her favorite colors, so I will find you something from my stash that I think you will like. And please get in touch with me, and I will ship you a skein of yarn. And from the chatter thread, I picked Rocky Mountain Penny. Hi, Penny! From Colorado Springs, who was posting a picture of some of the things that she made. And I think they were sent to Australia for relief from, you know, to help with the fires there. Anyway, hey Penny, let me know what pattern you want. Anything that is giftable from Ravelry, $10 or less, and I will send it to you. So please let me know. And thank you so much for participating. Everyone, thank you everyone for participating. It's so much fun to shop from your stash, and it's been fun to look at those things. And I know I'm not participating very much, but I am looking. And I'm coughing in my elbow. Oh, I probably edited that out so you didn't even see it. And I'll edit Dave out too. Okay, so I cut out my cough and Dave, and we'll see how we go. I might have to move inside. Even though it's so gorgeous, it's so nice to be outside. So also in my last podcast, I mentioned I have lots and lots of lovely fingering yarn. And if you are your stash is low on lovely fingering yarn and you're not able to buy it because the whole world is crazy and everybody's lost their job. And, you know, the uncertainty of budgets means that you really can't afford to buy nice yarn. Please let me know, and I will send you a skein of fingering yarn. Dave! One person had mentioned it on the podcast comments, but if you're not on Ravelry or Instagram, it's hard to get in touch with somebody. So now I have this email address, flameandfiber@mindspring.com. So if you, because I'm going to be mailing Emma her yarn, so I'm going to be going to the post office in a week or two, hopefully, if she gets in touch with me. And so I will send you yarn too. So please, please, if you are in a situation where you need something lovely to knit and you don't have it, please let me know, because knitting is going to save us, save our sanity. All right. I think I'm just going to try to wait till Dave is done with that, and I'll start again. Well, I'm not starting over, but I'll resume when Dave is done with his tree. He can't be cutting down his whole yard's worth of trees. He's going to be done soon, I think. Maybe I'll go make graham crackers. I'll tell you all about that, too.
Okay, so it sounds like Dave is done, so I can go back out and work on my podcast. But I made a test batch of graham crackers. Now, they got a little brown on the edges. And in real life, they don't look quite as dark on the edge. But when you do low carb, you don't get many things that are crunchy and crispy. And I love crispy. And, you know, but crackers and cookies and chips and all those things are carby, and you don't get those. So this is a low-carb graham cracker. I even put the holes a little bit. Recipe, which is made with almond flour. And it's got to cool, so we shall see. But I don't know. Maybe I'll have graham crackers. I love graham crackers.
Okay, Dave seems to have stopped drilling. Well, he wasn't drilling. He was... I think he was cutting down a tree. I hear a little banging over there. Maybe he's like chopping it up now. I don't know. But I think we're going to be okay. I forget exactly where we were. I think I just talked about, let me know. Let me know if you need some yarn. So let's get to the knitting. This is my Edie sweater. This is by Isabell Kreamer. I took a picture, a bathroom selfie. Oh, well, that works. See, if I were sitting where I was before, I wouldn't be able to stand up to show you, but it feels like I made it just a tad long. But, you know, I think it has to be a little looser if it's going to be this long, but it might loosen up. It'll look cute with like leggings and everything, but it just feels kind of long. I don't know why I made it quite so long. But anyway, this is the Edie sweater. I did lengthen the sleeves. I think the sleeve only comes up to here, but I have old lady flappy arms. So I wanted a longer sleeve, and I'm very happy with the sleeves. And I am not gonna shorten it, so I'm not that unhappy with the length. It just feels a tad long. I'm not sure why. Oops, now Dennis has just come home. He was planting his apple trees next door, so you might hear him banging around a little bit. So anyway, this is the Edie. The yarn, this yarn is a naturally dyed yarn. Hold on, I'll close it. I closed the door. Dennis was making a lot of noise. He just came back from planting apple trees on our property next door, and then I had to do a tick check, and I found a tick, a deer tick. Lyme disease is everywhere, I guess, in the United States these days. I hope it's not too much where you are. It is bad here. It's one of the things I really worry about in the apocalypse, is the deer, ticks, and Lyme disease. Okay, my yarn, this yarn is 65% merino, 35% bamboo, so it feels real slick and slippery and summery. And it is naturally dyed by the ladies that have a booth at Maryland Sheep and Wool, and they're really the main reason why I'm sad that they canceled Maryland Sheep and Wool, because they don't have an online presence, although I do have an email address here. So it's dyed using madder and cochineal. There is their information. And this was a giant skein, 950 yards approximately, a little over 8 ounces. And it was really fun to knit up. I have some of this left, and I really like this sweater a lot, so that's fun. I haven't found my other summer sweaters. Most of them are going to be a little bit big on me, but I think they're mostly going to be fine. But this one fits me nice and close and is yummy. And of course, this is my first Edie, but probably not my last. I mean, it's just a nice V-neck t-shirt sweater. So I have other summery yarns that I could make into a summer top. Maybe not quite as long as this one, but you know. So this is my finished object. This is my first time wearing it. I'm really happy with it, other than it's a tad long. But I like how it feels. I like how it fits. And I'm happy to have it for the summertime. Some summertime. So that's my only finished object. I am working on another sweater that I've been talking about on my blog, the Ochre cardigan by Ambah O'Brien. I have to remember that's E-N when I put it on the screen. And this is a light, short, you know, cardigan-y jacket to wear in the summertime. And it's shown in the poppy, and and the poppy is my favorite color of this. This is Shabui linen, and here is my ochre sweater. So I'm just at the point where it's time to start the lace at the bottom of the sweater, and it feels like I'm not ready to start the lace. So I think I might pick up the sleeves and knit the sleeves for a while till I get everything at the lace, and then I'll just do lace when I'm ready to do lace. But this is a beautiful color. I love this yarn. I bought my first poppy Shabui linen. It was one of the first yarns I bought when I learned how to knit back in 2013. Yeah, early 2013. And it's got this yarn, it has a little bit of a striping effect. I don't know if you can see that. And I don't know if you remember this yarn, but I knit this yarn into a Brise sweater, which is a pattern, I think, by, her name just escapes me, but I'll put it down there. And it was big-ish on me when I finished it, and it was huge on me, and it ended up being stash again. So I unwound it. I just took my sweater apart and I started knitting this sweater with it. Now, I had to alternate skeins because I didn't have enough of the one skein, or the one lot, and the other lot was actually relatively different, and so the sweater ended up looking kind of striped. Now, and you might be able to see that striping there. But I decided not to worry about it then, and I'm not worrying about it now. This yarn was all magic knotted together. Now, I had trouble with my magic knot on my Paloma, which was made out of alpaca. But this linen magic knot, these knots are solid, and so I am not concerned about that, and I was able to just, you know, and when I get to a knot, I get to a knot, you know. That's how it ended up being striped. The problem with this yarn and sweaters made out of this yarn is that it's very hard to weave in ends without them showing. I mean, I don't know how people do it. So the magic knot was perfect for this project, this yarn, when it was the Brise sweater, and it continues to work very well as the ochre. But you can see that striping. Yeah, and now that I'm looking at this other ball, this was from the top of the sweater, I'm wondering if this may not even be so much striped, because I did have quite a few skeins of that, so. But I just unwound this big giant ball and thought, okay, this will be enough. And then one day the other night, I was like, didn't feel like knitting, didn't feel like doing anything, so I just went and finished unwinding the sweater, and so I have lots of this. This is a color I really like. And so I will have a cute little summer cardi to put over my whatever. When I finish it, when I start feeling like doing the lace. So you can see at the bottom, it's got the lace, and you see, yeah, even the bottom of the sleeve and the bottom of the sweater. And it's just a cute little thing, and I'm right there ready for the lace. So this should be done next time I talk to you. Hopefully, I'm not sure. The other thing I've finally been doing is I picked up my cross stitch. I wasn't doing any cross stitch. Now, I'm still not quite finished with Rich's Behold, but I'm getting closer. And my daughter has offered to do the finishing on it, and I think I am going to take her up on that, because otherwise it could be a forever till he gets it. But I've been doing the outlining of the people and their faces. I need to put some eyes in there, a little more outlining. I need to do the field itself and a couple of letters that I am missing. And the field is just lines because it's a barren field. So, and I am not doing these details in here. I started to do them when I picked it back up, and they looked terrible, and I was afraid I was ruining it, so I may not do them at all. I think the building looks okay as it is. But I hadn't done any, I dropped my needle threader. I hadn't done any cross stitch for a couple months, and I was feeling like I wasn't sure what I was doing, and that's what I started with. So maybe after I'm finished the field and put everything in, I might try once more, because it looks nice with that detail on the buildings, but I think it's okay without it, and I don't want to ruin it. That's my goal right now, is to not ruin it. And to get it to him relatively quickly, because it's a Christmas present from last year. Seems like it would be nice to get it to him. But since I didn't really want to do that and I wanted to do something else, I picked up this. This is called For You, and it's by Teresa Kogut. And I had gotten this design. I found this little shop in Strasbourg. And I bought this there, and at that same place they had the fabric all cut to size for that too. And so I basically put together the kit for myself, and I got the fabric and I got all the yarns, the colors of the yarns that she suggested, and so I have started. And it starts with a border. It's got this beautiful border around the edge, you know, sort of that's the cross stitch equivalent of stockinette. And that's what I started with. So I was doing that, and that was nice. I'm trying to do a few things that make me feel better. I'm working on my mental health and my mood and everything else. And so I've been doing some cross stitching. So this is another whip that I'm working on. And I've been spinning the last couple days. The last 3 nights I have spun. I've been trying to figure out a routine. I need to do some exercises because we can't go to the gym. And I sit a lot, and my butt's been hurting. I mean, really hurting. When I go to bed, it's like keeping me awake. I'm a bad sleeper anyway. I'm blaming my butt. I don't know that I would be sleeping anyway. But my butt hurts because I'm sitting too much. So the last 3 nights in the early evening, I have gone up to my craft room, which actually has some floor space now because I moved everything into the other guest room. Let's be real. And I've been doing some leg exercises and butt exercises that have really helped. And so the last few nights when I went to bed, my butt didn't hurt anymore. And then I'm trying to do some calming things, and I've started spinning. And I will put a picture of my spinning here. I didn't take it off the wheel because I don't have a full bobbin yet, but I've just spent, an hour or 45. I mean, last night I only spent like 15 minutes spinning because my chair that I used to spin was hurting my butt. So I think I need a pillow situation, and I need to work on that so I spend more time spinning. But I have a spindle about 2/3 full, I think. And I'm very excited about that. I've been spinning a pencil roving. I don't remember what the wool is. I can't remember. I got it at a very small fiber festival that wasn't too far away from me. And this was 2.5 years ago, I would say. And and I met the Crafty Toads there. We had lunch together and wandered around a little bit together, and they inquired about maybe working at that festival. I don't know if they ever did or went back to it. I'm not remembering the name of it. And so I don't remember what the fiber is, but I'll take a picture of that too, because it's actually in a fun little plate. And I talked to the woman about it and told her I had gotten a fleece at Maryland Sheep and Wool 3 years ago, and gave it to a processor who was going to turn it into pencil roving, which is what this is. And it'll be 3 years ago, beginning of May, and I don't have it back yet. And I've kind of given up on it. So we shall see. The woman who runs the mill got sick, and anyway, 3 years. So, but I'm supposedly getting pencil roving. We shall see. But I've been knitting this pencil roving, and I've been enjoying it. It's practically pre-drafted, so it's very easy to work with. So Dave's doing something with that wood right now, but it's not quite as loud. So I'm going to keep going, because otherwise this will never happen. And I'm my spinning is the last crafting that I've been doing. So that has been helping me mentally, and I'm excited to have the yarn. And this is a bit, cream colored, natural colored yarn that I'm making. And so I hope that I will dye this yarn when I'm done with it. That's my plan. My daughter gave me a little natural dyeing kit for Christmas a couple years ago, and I haven't done it yet, and I'm so interested to do that. So I'm going to read up on natural dyeing and see what go back and look in that package and see what it is that she got me again, because of course I don't remember now, and do some dyeing of my yarn that I spun. This will be my Corona yarn. I don't know. Anyway, so that's my plan. So this is what I've been doing. I've been doing my vlog every day, which has really helped me. And I've gotten a lot of wonderful feedback, and I do so appreciate it. I cannot tell you. So that's fun. And I'm doing it every day. I even put one up this morning because you never know with Dave. You might not get a podcast after all. But I do have some goodies. I've been trying to support the local makers, or the online makers, the crafters. And so I bought a few things. I saw this from the Limitless Crafter. I follow her on Instagram. I have absolutely no need for a bag, but I just love this Medusa headed, I don't know, something about this bag just really, really touched me, and I really like it. Limitless Crafter, Kina Edwards. She's a dealer in Las Vegas, and I'm quite sure she's not working. She has a podcast. I haven't seen her podcast lately. But anyway, I love this. So I ordered it. I saw this exact one on Instagram and went immediately to her store and bought it. And that was fun. And it's nice and light inside. I do like the inside of my bags to be light colored because I find the black makes it really hard to find things. Like, for instance, this bag, which I made myself, I discovered, you know, black, not the best. I also ordered some yarn from Yoshi and Lucy. And this is, I saw this on their website, or their Etsy store. I really like it. It's mostly gray, but it's got all these wonderful colors in it. And I plan to make the Rocaine sweater out of this, except I can't find the pattern, and I can't find the Pom Pom magazine that it's in, and I'm so annoyed with myself. I'm so disorganized. I mean, maybe this will be enough to get me to actually do some cleaning and straightening and see if I can find it, but I wasted my quiet time looking everywhere I could think of. So this is Amelia is her base, and it's 100% superwash merino, DK weight, 231 yards, and this one is called Dark Magic. Dark Magic. Isn't that pretty? So I'm excited by that. I was going to kind of kit that up and be ready to go. So the other yarn I bought from my local yarn shop because, of course, they're only open for mail and pickup and things like that, and I want to support them because I'll be sad if they're gone when this all settles out. So I bought myself some Malabrigo Rios, which is a worsted weight, I think, 210 yards. Isn't that pretty? This is the Hojas colorway, 880. And it's a very bluey green, and this is what I was gonna make out of this. This is also from Pom Pom magazine, I forget which edition. And this is the Ceilidh, I don't know, you can see it, by Julie Farwell-Clay. And it is just a pullover with some pockets. It's got a little bit of detail down the sides here, and it looks like a really comfy, yummy sweater. And I thought that this is mostly green. It reads mostly green, but it's got some blue in it. You know, it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful sweater. I'm not sure how much that detail will show with this yarn, but I don't care. So that's my plan. So these are my goodies. I got two sweaters worth of yarn. I got 5 of the Rios, and I got 4 of this. It's all she had. I hope it's enough. You know, so it'll be like almost 1,000 yards of DK. So I'm hoping it's enough. But anyway, so this is needle adjacent as well. In fact, closer to the needles than the other one, since I can't find the pattern. And I'm so annoyed because I don't want to buy the pattern again when I have the whole magazine here somewhere. And for some reason, I don't just immediately download the files as soon as the magazine arrives. I don't know why I don't do that. I will maybe learn my lesson and do that from now on. That would be not a bad thing. So I will keep looking. It might give me a little bit of impetus to do a little more cleaning and organizing in my life. I have many spots where it could have been, and I looked for it and didn't find it. So I'm hoping that I find it. There's Pearl. I don't know if we saw Maisie or not. Maisie's tends to spend some time in the underneath the deck when it's sunny and warmish. It's not warm. Although I'm perfect, you know, I mean, I'm going to go change into a long sleeve sweater to be out on the deck more today, because I'm definitely going to be out on the deck more today. And I'll be a little more comfortable in the shade with sleeves on. But if I were in the sun, I would be fine. I'm really happy with this sweater though. I love the colors, and I'm just tickled. Just tickled. So, going to the post office today. We've been not doing very much, but we have something that needs to be mailed. And tomorrow is an errands day. Dennis's mother has a list that if we don't go, she'll go. So we have to go. So we're going to go to the grocery store, and then Dennis, like I said, has been planting apple trees, and he needs mulch and things for around his apple trees. So we have a store we can go to get that. And so we'll run a couple errands tomorrow using Dennis's protocol, which is quite elaborate and will, I'm quite sure, keep us safe. And then we'll be in for another 2 weeks, or until the bananas, my mother-in-law's bananas, run out. They're becoming essential bananas. So I don't know what's going to happen in the world if everybody gets coronavirus. Pretty soon we won't be getting bananas. All right, I hear Dave. He's revving something up, so I think it's time for me to say goodbye. Please stay well, stay healthy, and I hope you're able to do all the crafting that brings you joy. And I will talk tomorrow if you want to hear me blather on, or in a couple weeks. Hopefully I'll finish my sweater and maybe have started another one, and who knows what else I'll be doing. I'll figure it out. So I hope you're all well. Please stay safe, wash your hands, stay away from other people, as hard as that is, and craft for your sanity and your joy. Bye-bye.